Alright, let's look at the function notation. Alright, let's say we have this example, f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 5x minus 8. Alright, so what does f of, say, -1 mean? Right? So if you want, you can think of x as a placeholder. So for example, so you have f of x. So here x is a placeholder, so I'm going to put open box. So say you have an open box here. Right? So this is equal to 3 times open box squared plus 5 times an open box minus 8. Right? So if somebody said evaluate f of -1, all you really have to do is put -1 into each box. So you have a -1 here, you have a -1 there, right? So which means that here you have 3 times, right? -1 squared would be +1 minus 5 times -1. So this is a multiplication, so you have to be careful. -5. Then you have minus 8. Right? So this is going to be equal to, right? 3 minus 5 is -2, minus 8 is -10. Right? So this is the value of f of -1. So all you have to do is replace x by whatever inside the parentheses. Alright, so let's do another one. So how about this f of an apple? Right? Following the notation, what does that mean? Alright, so same thing, right? So every time you see x, we put an apple in it. So it's gotta be 3. Then you have, there's an x there, so you have an apple squared plus 5 times an apple minus 8. And I don't know exactly sure what it means, but when somebody said f on an apple, this is what it is, right? So you know that how this notation works. All right, so let's make it look more like math. So here, let's try to find f of x plus h. Right? So what's that? So here you can just think of this guy. Okay, we have an apple right here. So this is an apple. Right? So every time you see x in the formula, we put an apple there. So you have 3. Right, I see x, so we put x plus h and squared plus 5, and I see x, we put x plus h and the minus 8. Right, then all you have to do is just kind of multiply it out. So you have 3 times. Alright, so x plus h squared. Remember that we have this. If you have a plus b squared, then this is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So I'm using that to compute this. So a is like x is like a, h is like b. So we have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and distribute 5 to x. You get 5x, and then we distribute 5 to h. We get 5h. Then you have minus 8. All right, now we distribute 3 to x squared. we get 3x squared. And then we distribute 3 to 2xh, we get 6xh. And then we distribute 3 to h squared, we get 3h squared. Then we still have 5x plus 5h minus 8, right? So this is the expression for f of x plus h, right? Then when in calculus, there's an expression called the difference quotient, which looks like this. F of x plus h minus f of x all over h. And note that h is not equal to 0, right? So this guy is called the difference quotient. Quotient. All right. Let's try to find this expression for this same function, f of x equals 3x squared plus 5x minus 8. All right. So this is going to be equal to, right? Since we already found the f of x plus h, so I'm going to do that. So I'm using the previous result. So I'm just going to copy 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared plus 5x plus 5h minus 8. Then we have a minus f of x. F of x is the original function, so minus, right? Make sure to put the parentheses because this negative sign applies to all three terms. So you have a 3x squared plus 5x minus 8, right? Then that's the numerator. So all over h, right? Then what we can do is try to simplify as much as possible. So in this case, there are a lot of terms canceling out. So you have a 3x squared minus 3x squared, right? There's a 5x here minus 5x, right? There's a negative 8 here minus negative 8. So you can cancel those guys out, right? Then what's left are this guy, 6xh, 3h squared, and 5h, right? So you can see that all three guys have h in it. So I'm going to factor h out, right? So if you factor h out, what's left is 6x. Alright, so we're going to put 6x here. Alright, then you factor h out from 3h squared. You still have 3h left. So plus 3h. And then if you factor h out from 5h, you have 5 left. So you have plus 5. Right? Then we have all over h. Alright, so you can see that there's a common factor h on top and bottom, so you can cancel them out because h divided by h is 1. So what's left is 6x plus 3h plus 5. Alright, so that's the expression for the difference quotient given here. Alright, that's it. This is how function notation works. I hope that this was clear.